Hi everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to our next instalment of Confessions of a Fundraiser. This week we are talking to Jake, so I'll let you introduce yourself, Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm a third year law student from the University of Nottingham.
Amazing, thank you. Yep, so Jake will be hoping to climb Kilimanjaro this summer with the rest of the Nottingham team. But to start with, Jake, what kind of drew you to the challenge and made you want to sign up?
So initially in the first lockdown during the summer, I started fundraising for the NHS, and I essentially did 35k runs in 30 days because my sister's a nurse, so I was just raising money for that cause. And Kat messaged me, said, "Look, I'm heading up this sort of adventure, this challenge. Would you be interested?" At first I was slightly hesitant, but I just thought it's best to sort of just jump in. I didn't really think about it. I just jumped in and signed myself up, and then sort of learned after I'd signed up what it was all about.
Amazing. And that didn't scare you off then once you found out what it was all about then?
Well, I think had I known what it entailed initially, and I would have just overthought it and not signed up. So I just had to jump in sort of head first. I've always wanted to do something like it. I wasn't sure when I would ever do it, so I thought that this sort of time would be perfect, especially with the amount of people my age I could do it with. It'd be a good experience.
Awesome, amazing. Yeah, it is great, and I think that kind of jumping straight into it and not doing that overthinking beforehand is good. Obviously, considering all of the options and stuff is recommended, but I think if it's something you've wanted to do and it comes along, it's kind of that like, well, it's meant to be kind of scenario. So as you said, you've been fundraising before, kind of going from fundraising in the first lockdown for your NHS challenge. How did you kind of get started with your fundraising for your Kilimanjaro challenge?
So I sort of thought that I would use the momentum I had off the first fundraiser I did to start fundraising and kickstart for the Kilimanjaro fundraiser. And I decided just to basically up the challenge which I'd previously done. So I set myself the challenge of doing a 10k every day or a month. Wow. Which was horrendous. Some days I did have to walk, some were part cycle because it did ruin me. But it helped me raise, I can't remember the exact figure, but I know that I'm £1,300 or something thereabout.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Successful fundraiser.
Yeah, you made an incredible start. It was kind of like we've obviously been watching it from our end, and it was seeing you kind of take on that fundraiser. It seemed to, despite the kind of proximity to your previous fundraiser for the NHS, it didn't seem to affect how people were supporting you and stuff. And obviously upping the challenge and taking on that personal sort of challenge. I imagine, like you say, it was very difficult, but it must have been really rewarding to do that and still have people supporting you as well.
Yeah, it was tricky, but it was definitely well worth it after I'd done it. But again, perhaps a fault of me diving head first into things and not thinking about them until I'm in them. It's not always a great idea.
No, it can lead to some very interesting fundraisers indeed, but it definitely paid off, which is awesome. So do you have any plans for any future fundraising or any ideas that you're going to be trying in the coming months?
So I live near a seaside town called Southwold, so I can walk to the beach as and when. So I think I might use that and being stuck at home to my advantage, and perhaps do some winter dips, go for a swim or dunk for a set amount of time over a set period and try and raise some money that way. I don't want to do any more running. That's
You're done with running.
Yeah, but I think it's that could be quite an original idea. It's bad enough that people would perhaps donate or be inclined to donate, but it's also something very achievable and very doable for myself.
Definitely. No, it sounds great. I think, again, it's that thing that people will sponsor you because it is so maybe something that other people wouldn't try, the winter dips and things like that. But again, if it's something that you kind of feel that you'd be interested in doing, it's accessible with where you live, I think it's a great idea. Can't wait to see the pictures of that, for sure. But kind of with your experience of fundraising last year, obviously fundraising in the second lockdown and potentially going into like the tiered systems and stuff, what advice would you give to someone who's maybe thinking about signing up but is nervous about the fundraising in the current climate?
Well, firstly, I would say don't overthink it too much, because as a result, it's a huge challenge. And I think regardless of who you are, whether you're outgoing, you're insular, it's the more you think about it, you can easily think yourself out of doing it, or talk yourself out of doing it, or find an excuse to not do it.
Yeah.
So obviously read up on what it entails and what's expected. And if it's something you think even slightly you want to do, just jump into it, talk to people, message people around it. From my personal experience, Kat was really useful and really good to me. She answered all my questions, and she's been a really good team leader. She's constantly putting in ideas into our group chat for fundraising. And I mean, there's always something you can do to raise money. It's not like there's one thing you can do, whether it be in lockdown or not. You've got Zoom, you've got social media, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
So there is really sort of no excuse. You can get out there and do it, or you can do it from the comfort of your own bedroom.
Definitely. I think that's a really good point you made there. Just firstly, for those of you who don't know, Kat is Jake's team leader. So when you sign up, you will be kind of allocated to a team and have a team leader who's been trained by us, and they kind of help with fundraising ideas, sort of getting the team together when possible, or like remote fundraisers. But yeah, the other point that you made there about there is always something to do. I think one of the silver linings, if there kind of is one, of the pandemic and things like that, is that you can really get creative with your fundraising and do things that you might have not tried before. It does just take kind of a bit of working out and finding kind of what works for you, like you did with your running challenge, even though you may have now fallen out with running. I think that might like help with the ideas that you're going to take on in the future, which is really good. So moving away from fundraising, and kind of to round up, what are you most looking forward to about the sort of coming months and the challenge ahead?
So the main reason I signed up was firstly sort of the physical challenge, but primarily it was just to meet new people and to perhaps mix with people I wouldn't necessarily have met. For example, my university's so big, people in my team, although I've been there for 3 years, I've never met most of these people, bar maybe one or two. So it's going to force me into maybe slightly an uncomfortable position, but the uncomfortable position I want to be in. I want to mix, and I want to sort of make new friends and make new memories with different people.
Great, that's amazing. Yeah, I think like you say, it feels like that uncomfortable stage when you first start. When I signed up to do it, 5 years ago now, I didn't know anyone that I was climbing with, but once you kind of get fundraising and kind of get in a group chat with your team, and then also once you've been on the mountain for less than a day, like you will have seen each other in sort of some kind of extreme circumstances where people might be hungry or tired or kind of ecstatic, and sort of after that first day you'll be such a firm like group of friends, and not to sound too cliche, but you really do like make those friendships that last a lifetime because you are in those sort of extreme environments with each other. So that's really cool. But that's amazing. Thank you so much for kind of speaking with me, Jake. I really do appreciate it, and a massive congratulations on the start you've made with your fundraising. It's really nice to kind of see your events working out for you, and really excited to see what you come up with in the kind of coming months.
Thank you very much.
Amazing, thank you. Good luck with your exams coming up as well.
Thank you. Bye.
Great to see you, Jake. Bye.